any of you guys are doing cosplay and you're building things and you want to learn how to go from the next step, for me, it was something I wanted to do. I didn't realize until I had done it, and that's kind of where I wanted to go with it. And then I had no clue what to do after that. So, these geniuses.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's all that.
None of us ever he was talking about us. We were like,
all right, we're going to have to work on this. I think we're going to do a few of them. When we decided we were going to do a little fan film kind of a thing, I put a few feelers out there, and I was getting contacts from around the world. People who wanted to show things that there's not a real venue to do that in the comic place. So I contacted Jimmy J, who is the guy that owns this convention, promotes the whole thing, and he thought it was a great idea. And fortunately, I'd already worked with these guys, and I'd seen the product they put out. They can make my stuff look good in film. Man, that's impressive. Realistically, they did a wonderful job. We're going to show all this off here in a little bit, but I want to show you some of the other ones that came through, things that people wanted us to promote. I've got one coming in next year from Spain. I've got a stop motion one, which I never even thought would be so cool, but they sent me some clips of it, and I thought, I dig that. So anything that has to do with superheroes or anything where you all have some sort of a vision with something. We all have our favorite characters, right? Right? Who's your favorite character? Iron Man. Uh-huh. All right. He looks like Iron Man, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Iron Man. All right. See the resemblance. All right. So what I'm saying is you guys probably have a favorite character and you probably want to see things done a little different story-wise. When they came up with the idea of Red Hood It, I thought it was brilliant. And who does dumb things like that? Right? Yeah. So when you think about what your idea could be and what it could turn out to be, I don't even know. I quit looking, but I think at one time I counted, because I'm a selfish individual, and I think we had probably 50 different organizations review and comment on our movie, and then worldwide, I think I quit counting at like 30. That were all in foreign languages. We had to use Google Translate to know what they were talking about, good or bad. And fortunately, it was all good stuff. So you don't know what you guys are capable of doing. So I can only do so much of like the building and the wanting to have my stuff looked at. But you all have things in mind, ways to go. And these people have done it with no money in their pocket at all. Still. Some guys just talk when they're not. You give a guy an Emmy, and you I actually begged him to bring the Emmy. This is a legit thing.
It's a real Emmy.
Yeah. You're welcome to look at it. Don't drool on it. I did, and I got yelled at. So it is a legit thing. And they, the Dog and Pony Show, these are the guys that did the soundtrack. So if you've seen the movie or you haven't seen the movie, these are the guys that created the sound behind it. It's pretty cool. All right, Alberto and Vasani, they're the directors, writers. They're the ones that came out of the movie one day and decided they were warped minds were going to come up with the Red Hood It thing. Brilliant. And then they had to talk these awesome people in the back to actually making their dream come true. So we have Veronica, who was Beverly. So, and then we had Anna, who was Anna, who couldn't be here, but she made Jeremy look like, I mean, the it. It was phenomenal. If you guys have seen it, she did an excellent job. And this guy had to sit in the chair for hours and let people just play with his face. I couldn't handle it. So kudos to that. And then, of course, we have Noel. Noel is Red Hood. If you guys have ever seen Nightwing the series, these are the guys. Ishmahawk. Only half of them were here because Danny said he was working, whatever. So, realistically, anything that you guys have and questions and thought-wise process doing this, these are the guys that do it. All right? And from what I understand, Veronica was just brought in to do stuff and then found out she was like an awesome actress. So, and I guess she nailed it take after take. I saw all the stuff. I'll be honest with you, only one I ever met until yesterday was Alberto, because he came to the Comic-Con last year. I've only worked with these guys over social media, contacts, stuff like that. So to finally meet everyone as part of the thing makes me very, very happy. Right? And we're very, very proud of what has happened. And the thing that we want to do is make sure that if you have any visions or any desires to do that, you ask those questions, because these are the guys that have done it. And we'll continue to do it.
One of the things Alberto and I wanted to do once the film was done was use it as a platform for more than just what we did. We wanted to use it as a platform for local filmmakers who enjoy the same things as us and related content. So we reached out to Brendan Champ Robinson, who has a YouTube channel called Imagination Upgraded, and he does a show about Harley Quinn on there. He did a one-off about Lara Croft that's amazing, and now he's working on a Poison Ivy film, which we tried to get an early look of, but unfortunately he's not done with it yet. So, but once he does, we'll try and get it to you guys as soon as possible. So, Croft is a Lara Croft fan film made with no budget by the wonderful Brendan Champ Robinson.
Okay, you need to say like 25 more words.
And
Great guy.
yep. No, he's not local. He's LA, but you know, supports the heck out of me. There's a film.
When we get into the Red Hood film itself, all of these people that are up here, but I forgot to mention Nathan. Nathan, if any of you have seen it, he's the he actually plays a couple of people in there, right? And you'll obviously figure out who it is. But he's the Nightmare Joker, probably. And I think Alan did your stuff too, right? Yeah, I don't have the patience to sit and have people paint me and do stuff like that. So kudos to that. So we're welcome. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, now there's a one here I wanted to show you guys. It's a trailer for one that is coming out. I would say the movie's coming out, I think, shortly after this convention. This is Immortal Wars. This is one that's been taken off of another storyline. You guys, are you familiar with him? I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, the filmmaker who made Immortal Wars is Joe Luan. He's a Vegas local here. He actually has a booth downstairs as well. You can go check him out. He's just finished the second one. The first film is coming out, I believe, the third. And a lot of cool people are in that. A lot of my friends are in that film. So go check it out, support him.
So I think what I'd like to do is, because this is something that was intriguing to me, I want you guys to kind of maybe get a little feel for what it takes to put one of these things together before we watch this, so you kind of understand where everything comes from. Like from the warped minds from this table and the actors who portrayed their wicked visions to putting it into something where it's been seen 100,000 plus 205, I don't know. It's been seen. I know I've seen it like a lot. So, and probably half of all the ones have been seen. So I think if I could, would you guys talk about when you first came up with the idea?
Isani and I went and caught the It in theaters, and literally we came out of the theater. As we're walking to the car, he just kind of looks at me and he's like, "Bert," I'm like, "Yeah, what's up? Red Hood versus Pennywise."
There's
a little more to it.
Okay.
I'm paraphrasing.
All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to debunk this myth he keeps perpetuating on me. I actually had that idea way before, but everyone gave me the worst kind of side-eye. And because they were like, "Hey, what? Like Tim Curry? Like, seriously?" And I was like, "No, like, you see the trailers for the new one." So I had to drag him to the theater to see it before anybody was like, "Oh, okay." Except for guy's a visionary. But I think I was just kind of putzing around one day, I think, and I knew I wanted to make a quick fan film before we went into our features, and I knew there were a couple people I wanted to work with on those fan films. So me and Noel have been talking about Red Hood stuff for the past year or so, since even before I moved to Las Vegas. And then I said it, side-eye. And then we went to movies, and then on the way home, I brought it up again, and he was like, I see it, I get it. And that's when things really started to kind of roll downhill. So I think the first lesson in indie film is don't rush. Wait for people to support you. If you feel a little bit of side-eye, don't abandon your idea. Just give it a little bit more TLC, kind of keep working with people around you. Eventually they'll come around, because I think good like interesting ideas, things that are out of the box, which is something we were all interested in.
Yeah.
We admire the DC source material so much that we would never flat out just take it. We have to do something that's somewhat our own, you know, in a fan family at least, I think. Otherwise, it's just kind of like, it's the ultimate form of plagiarism.
It's copying somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that was one of my favorite things about the project is, I mean, because, you know, we're fans, but we're also, you know, we're filmmakers as well, so we want to bring something creative and something original, something of our own to these, you know, pre-existing characters. And, you know, the moment he brought up the mashup, I mean, you can see how it opened itself up to kind of play with the genres. Like, you have Red Hood, which is a very action-heavy character, and then you have Pennywise, which is a horror. You can kind of play with both worlds, which is, you know, as a storyteller, it's just a great sandbox to be in. You can kind of do almost anything.
I agree. Like, for me, the point of making a fan film is to do something we would never see in the theaters, or what's the point? Like, if you can see a better version of it on TV or at the movies, what's the appeal of watching?
Just watch that.
Yeah, the appeal of watching it. The appeal of us making films is that we are doing stuff that the theaters can't work out for business-related reasons, so we just do it ourselves. And I think that's, for me, that's the crux of anything I do that I know I won't make any monetary gain off of. It's to find people like me who might enjoy seeing something out of the box, something they will never see done on the big screen. At least a little taste of it.
My question was to him, I think one day it just sprung into my head, and I sent him a message. I said, how is it that we're doing this without getting in trouble? His exact words were, in text, I probably still have it somewhere, no money, no problem. So if you're not making any money off of it.
It's the opposite of what Biggie Smalls said.
Yeah. So, and of course, we don't want money, right? I mean, I think So, in certain things, I mean, that was one of the biggest eye-openers to me. You guys have all been to conventions, you walk around, you buy artwork from everybody that's out there doing stuff, but they didn't create the Deadpool, they didn't create Batman, but yet they're selling it, right? That's artistic interpretation. And they're still making money, and as of now, no one has pulled the plug. Because isn't it kind of like free advertisement and stuff like that, you know? I work very closely with Todd McFarlane, and McFarlane, surprisingly, is very, he doesn't allow his product out very much. I mean, and you guys know the new movie's coming out, he's working on that. So things are even getting a little more and more harder for him, but it's a pleasure to work with them because they look at everybody going out and they're doing the artwork and they're creating things, and even though they're not making the money, they know that it's still promotion for their stuff. Liefeld's here, you guys have seen his stuff drawn a billion times, right? So I think this is something that was a huge question of mine that, you know, in like, what was that, 4 words, no money, no problem, 4 words, that answered all my questions for that. So kudos for being brief and straight to the point, because I don't like reading long things.
What is it about the DC universe that has never really worked for me? Like, it was always, like, how many rogues are just kicking it around Gotham? You know, like, if they all attacked at once, Batman be done, period. So, you know, and so would most other superheroes. So, like, why haven't they? It's just a convenient loophole and flaw in the DC universe. Unless they were all one villain. And because Pennywise is a shapeshifter, it explains why you conveniently never really see them in, you know, the same place at once or anything like that, or they never attack all at the same time. So, there you go. We figured out.
This is pretty brilliant. It's a good idea. So, all right, let me ask you guys another question. I know that you said you wanted to work with Noel for a while, okay? And quite frankly, I thought his portrayal of Red Hood from the very beginning, what he's done, has always been stellar. How many of you guys have seen the film? You're all going to see it before you get out of here. How many of you have seen it? All right. What is one thing that stuck out?
Just the way they articulate the characters. You really felt like you were getting a look into these characters outside of what you've seen. in all the comics.
Absolutely. And there was a lot of comments posted about things like that. How come DC couldn't come up with something as good as what these guys put out and what they portrayed, right? I mean, this is phenomenal stuff. And you put the right mix of, you put the right mix of guys together and pull this off. So this is a pretty impressive deal. Why did you, we know that you guys want to work with Noel. What about Jeremy? How did you know about Jeremy? How did you know he was
I've known Jeremy for about a year or so. I saw him in a couple of things online. He's worked with a lot of mutual friends of mine, and I was just a fan of his work ethic, his attitude, and I knew he was a really big fan of the genre of comic books and horror films. So when the mashup came together, I'm like, this is the perfect guy for this. He loves them from both perspectives. And I mean, one of the best things about him is, I mean, his attitude. Like, you want to surround yourself with people, like everyone that's here up here with us. You know, you want to find a team like this because everyone was just so supportive of the vision, and was very respectful of their own art and their own craft. And to find enough people like that and come together, you can do damn near anything. And it was just awesome to work with people like them.
I was surprised at his voice.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that have seen it, he sounds like, it's almost like they dubbed that.
I did it. Yeah, I'll do it after. Yeah, no, even in the YouTube comments, people were like, "Oh, that's not his voice," or they actually had to credit it like that I did the voice. Believing it, but yeah, no, I did do it. And, that's actually how I landed the role. He had Berto had hit me up on, I think, Facebook Messenger one day, and he's like, "How quickly, like, do you know the source material?" I was like, "Of course I do." And he's like, "How quickly can you send me a video of you doing this?" And I was like, "Right now." And so I did. I sent him a selfie video of me doing the whole sewer scene with Georgie, and he was like, "This was awesome."
Yeah, no, we both were like watching it, and we were like, "We gotta figure out a way to work with this. And how do we keep it a secret so that only we work with it?"
I appreciate that. Yeah, like the initial script too didn't even feature a voice yet because they didn't want to just dub it. But like once we did the audition, they were like, "Oh, we gotta throw some wording in there." So.
You did phenomenal. Plus, he won a 1,000 air thing too. He posted that the other day, and I saw him, and he wanted to buy a Spider-Man suit. Just so you all know.
I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire as a 1,000-aire, and I got pulled up from the audience, and Chris Harrison asked me what I'd spend $1,000 on, and I said I wanted a custom RPC Studio Spider-Man suit with web shooters, and everyone lost their minds.
And then he said, "Okay, we're going to erase that. I'm going to ask you again."
He did say that.
Yeah, he did say that. I saw it.
Yeah, they probably don't have any Emmys.
Yeah. All right, now we're gonna cover this here, but I want to go into. You guys will understand a little bit about when you get into. It's one thing to do a film, but when you put music and sound effects and everything behind it, that is something I don't even get. I mean, I understand how people do dubs and lay things out and they put things in the right spot, because I've done, you know, cutting and pasting and stupid little things before. But to do what Dog and Pony Show did with this is phenomenal.
Like cutting and pasting.
Yeah, essentially. Okay, I'm trying to build you up here. Realistically, they did incredible work, and you're going to hear that, you're going to see, and they work close with all these. I think I even saw a video of you were in the sound group, and they were just like, everyone was doing stuff, and it was good. Again, I didn't know, I knew of these geniuses back here, but I didn't know them. And so I got to know their personalities by watching these films and the behind-the-scenes stuff. And I thought, okay, I can dig these guys. We can be friends. So that was cool that they did it. And I don't know of any other fan film that's really done the in-depth behind-the-scenes stuff like these guys have. So that's something to their credit as well. So, all right, here is the reason why we're all here.